Princess, I have a list for you. I know you like lists, but I'm not quite sure you're going to like this one. Actually, you might. Remember when you said, when you got punished last time, that the punishment wasn't appropriate for what you did? Well, you had to write lines, remember? Yes, because you were talking back. Well, I think it was very appropriate. Well, as you can see, your hand's not broken, right? Did you learn your lesson? Well, you haven't talked back since. Well, what I did is I took time and I wrote down some offenses that you could do and what the repercussions are. Well, I just made a list of the more common ones. So this list can be modified in the future. It's not set in stone. No. So if there's something that you don't like or you want to revisit, we can definitely do that. Okay. Are you ready? And remember, Daddy loves you no matter what, right? Even if you're a brat, but I appreciate it if you're not a brat too often. Okay, you ready? The first one I came up with is not listening to me the first time around. Princess? Hey, no, you need to listen to me when I talk. Well, because if you don't listen, you're going to be sitting in a timeout for a few minutes. Well, then you can think about what you did. Okay, what you didn't do, you didn't listen to me. Well, the amount of minutes will depend on how many times I need to repeat myself. Well, that'll be determined whenever you're not listening to me, okay? And that's at my discretion. Because I'm your daddy. Not eating your vegetables. Princess, you need to eat your vegetables to grow big and strong. Well, if you don't eat your vegetables, there's not going to be any dessert that night. That is not too harsh. Princess, it makes complete sense, right? If you don't eat your vegetables, why would you have any dessert? If you don't have room for vegetables, then you don't have room for dessert. That's not true. You don't have a second stomach for desserts. It's not a thing. You might feel like a thing, but it's not a thing. Because your daddy said so. Anyways, this isn't up for debate right now. Yes, I said we can revisit in the future if it's not working for us, but we haven't tried it yet. Okay, let's move on here. Okay, so forgetting to brush your teeth. It is super duper important to brush your teeth. Yes, morning and night. Well, the punishment is going to be you're going to be brushing your teeth. Because we cannot be forgetting to brush our teeth, okay? So if you forget to brush your teeth, you're going to be marching back into the bathroom to brush your teeth no matter what time it is. Yes, 3 o'clock in the morning. If I find out you didn't brush your teeth and you're in bed, oh my gosh, you're getting up and you're brushing your teeth. Yeah, so don't forget. Okay. Using a sassy or disrespectful tone. Princess, I don't like it when you're sassy or disrespectful to me. It's much better when you're kind. Yeah, it's a gentle voice. When we both talk to each other. So if you're being a little sassy or a little disrespectful, then I'm just going to correct you and I'll talk to you how I want to be talked to and I'll expect the same back. But if you're really disrespectful, then you're going to be writing lines. I know you hate that. That's the point. Because I don't like to be disrespected, and then anybody else that you are around in life doesn't like to be disrespected either. Well, I think it's a good punishment because you don't like writing lines, and I don't like being disrespected. All right. Making a big mess without cleaning it up. No, it's not Daddy's job to clean it up. I will help you clean up if I'm playing with you. Princess, you can clean up your own messes now, okay? Yes, if you spill something and it goes under the fridge, yes, I'll help you move the fridge for sure. But if you're playing with toys and you make a big mess because there's toys all over the place, then I expect you to clean that up now. Well, in this situation, you're a big girl, okay? So you can clean it up. You can ask me to help, and if I'm in the mood or if I'm not busy, then yes, for sure, I'd love to help my little girl clean up. So I thought for the punishment for this one, if I have to ask you more than 3 times, 3 times, Princess, if I have to ask you more than 3 times, then you either go in the corner for a period of time, or you get grounded, depending on how much stuff and how many times I have to tell you. I think that's more than fair. And this goes on to my next one, leaving toys all over the floor. Well, it's kind of the same thing, but messes can be various things, but specifically your toys. Princess, I've walked on your toys so many times going to the bathroom at night or having to go somewhere and I'm not looking or I'm half asleep. Princess, that's not on me for being sleepy or waking up in the middle of the night. There shouldn't be toys on the floor, okay? So every night before bedtime, there needs to be no toys on the floor. Well, if I find toys on the floor, the next day there's no electronics. Again, I think that's more than fair. 'Cause your toys hurt Daddy's feet sometimes, and they really hurt, and I don't want that to happen too often. Okay. This is one you're not gonna like. Staying up past your bedtime. Princess, you know how grumpy you get in the morning when you don't get your sleep, okay? So it's very important that, yes, we get our sleep. You're not going to like this punishment, but for every 5 minutes that you don't go to bed past your bedtime, that's 5 minutes that you have to go to bed early the next day. Well, your bedtime tonight, if you go over by 20 minutes, that means next day, tomorrow, is going to be 20 minutes before your bedtime. Well, you have no choice. No, your daddy's putting that rule because you passed your bedtime way too much, and I think that's a very fair punishment. Okay, the next one is not saying please and thank you. Because you need to remember to use your magic words. If I have to tell you too many times, then that falls into the disrespecting and sassiness. Yes, you get that punishment. But saying please and thank you should be a very easy one for you because your daddy does it all the time, right? Yes, thank you. Okay, here's one. Being a big girl when you're supposed to be a little. Well, sometimes you do big girl things when you're in little space. Well, for example, texting work. Well, work can wait if you're not on duty, right? And if you're in little space, the last thing you want to do is big girl stuff, because then sometimes it gets you out of it. Well, the punishment for that one is you're gonna get so many cuddles from me. Maybe that's not the best punishment, because you might do it on purpose, you're right. I didn't think that one through now, did I? Okay, well, how about I'm going to cuddle you as soon as I see you do big girl stuff, and then you're gonna get tickled by the tickle monster. Okay. All right, so that's the punishment. Let me just write that down. Tickled by the tickle monster. Okay. This next one's very important to me. Drawing on walls. No, I mean, you can't draw on walls, silly. Princess, it's a lot of work for your daddy. Well, if you draw on the wall, the punishment is you're going to do 80% of the cleaning. By removing it, and then by painting it if we need to paint it. Princess, if you're good enough to draw on the walls, you're good enough to paint over those drawings, right? We can put your masterpieces on paper, and that way we can save it in a binder or in a book. I get we can take a picture of the wall, but we can take a picture of the paper as well, okay? So let's, from now on, no more drawing on the walls, please. Okay. Okay, here's one. Being loud and noisy. I mean too loud. When we're inside, we use our inside voices. Oh, Princess, sometimes your daddy's working or doing stuff, and I can't have you yelling all the time in the background, right? Well, the punishment for that one is you need to be quiet. And if you're not quiet, and I gotta tell you multiple times, then it falls under the disrespecting category, and you get that punishment. Well, I don't like it when you're being too loud, so that punishment sounds like it's pretty apropos. Okay, now the last one. This is a really important one. Okay, ready? Okay. Not giving Daddy a hug when he asks for one. Princess, when I ask for a hug, you gotta give it to me. It's a rule. Oh, Princess. Yes, there are times that you just don't want to be touched, and I totally get that. I'm talking those for reals time, then your daddy's gonna know. I'm never gonna ask for a hug in those times. That's when you need your space. But any other time, when we're just being cute, fun, and silly, and you be mean and don't give your daddy a hug, then the punishment is I'm gonna give you an extra duper long hug. Yes. Okay, so what do you think of the rules and punishments? Okay. Well, let's just see how it goes for the first little bit, and then we can make some amendments in the future. How's that sound? Okay. Well, how about we finish this up with a nice snack? How about some ice cream with sprinkles? Yes. Okay, how about I go make some snacks? You go put some Bluey on or whatever you want to watch, and I'll be right there for you with some snacks. Okay, where's my kiss? I'll see you soon, Princess.